The Libre blockchain is setting itself up to be a real contender in the L2 Bitcoin scaling race. If you'd like to grab some Libre tokens on the cheap and contribute to its DAO, then this video is for you. Okay, so this is going to be a really quick video on how to participate in the LibreLaunch DAO Fund, which is 60 days of 10 million Libre tokens per day being distributed to all of those users and accounts that contribute pBTC to the DAO. So we start at this dashboard here, which is dashboard.libre.org. And here you can see it's a pretty clean dashboard. It shows you the price of Bitcoin, Libre, TVL for Libre currently. But we're going to go to the fund. So we go over here to fund. And this is the LibreLaunch DAO Fund. So what will happen, it actually tells you at the top here, you're contributing pBTC. The Libre you receive is staked for 6 months, also generating APR. And then after that, you get your Libre out. So far we can see a total of 190 million Satoshis, which is basically 1.9 Bitcoin, having contributed to the DAO. This particular period, so each day there's a new period. We're currently on period 11 of 60. And so far for this period, the DAO has received 12,874,000 Satoshis. And the value then, because it's 10 million Libre, will equate to that. The price per Libre in Satoshis is 1.29. And then here we can see the remaining time in the period, which is about another 5 hours left to decide basically if you want to allocate. One thing to note is when you look at the price here, so that when I said earlier in the intro that you could get Libre on the cheap, it's because currently the price of Libre is 2.75 stats. And you could, assuming it were to end now, you would get the Libre for 1.29 sats. So it's a pretty good discount on the current market rate. Of course, things could change. So there's an advantage to waiting kind of to the end of the period to then decide how many Satoshis you want to deposit. All right, so if I want to contribute and grab myself some Libre, I need to connect my wallet. So I'm going to be using Anchor Wallet on my computer here on a desktop version. I'm going to launch Anchor. I'm going to click open. This should open Anchor on my desktop. So now I'm going to log in. No, I have to unlock my wallet. So I'm going to enter my password here. I'm going to authorize, and this is with my Interchain BP account. So I'm actually running a node on the Libre blockchain called Interchain BP. By all means, please vote for Interchain if you would like to support me. And this is going to now validate signing the transaction. And just like that, I'm logged in now. So here we can see my total contribution. I've contributed a few times to this, over 1 million Satoshis. My allocation is 879,000 Libre from doing so, and I'm going to make a new contribution. So, and of course I can see all my old contributions here. I'm going to go new contribution, and you decide now how many you want to. I'm going to do 25,000 Satoshis. So not a lot, just a little amount here. You can see the base APY is going to be 41%. So when this is staked, when these Libre that I'm going to get from today's allocation become staked for 6 months, they receive a 41% APY. I go contribute now. I launch the signing window again with Anchor on my desktop. And here it's going to tell me from Interchain BP and contributing, there's the amount of pBTC. This is where it's going. I click sign. And just like that, it is done. So now if I scroll to the very bottom here, we can see that I've got 25,000 Satoshis from today, December 11th, and it's processing. So it does not know the distribution. But what you can see is I've done this similar amount quite a few times leading up to now. And depending on each day's contribution of pBTC, it will change the amount of the 10 million Libre for that day that I receive. So you'll see some days, like for example, December 7th, quite a few Satoshis were given that day. And my 25,000 sats only turned into 6,481 Libre. Meanwhile, on December 5th, that was less subscribed to that day, and 25,000 Satoshis actually got me 27,000 Libre. So what you'd want to do is kind of watch this over the 60 days and maybe don't dump all the Satoshis you'd like to give in just one day and spread it out so you have a better chance of getting more of the pro rata share of each day's 10 million Libre. And so when this period is up, when this time here counts down, this will update and it'll show me exactly the Libre I get. And then here you can see this is when the unstakes happen. And this is the claim date, the 6 months later claim date. And that's all you need to do. If you have any questions, hit me up in the comments, and happy staking and contributing to the LibreLaunch DAO Fund. Oh, and if you're curious what exactly is getting built by the teams leveraging the capital raised in the DAO, you can just head on over to libre.org and have a look at what the team's working on. And here they've recently released a Bitcoin search function. So this is basically an ordinal search. So we can look at all the different inscriptions that are here on the Bitcoin blockchain, and you can click through them and they'll tell you who inscribed them, who owns them, any details about them. Some of them are a little less impressive than others. If we go to collections here, though, now we can see some solid art, some funky looking penguin. We got a king. We got this guy. I mean, all sorts of action going on here. And so if you have any interest in searching through the inscriptions that are on the Bitcoin blockchain, this is the place to do it, libre.org.